You're welcome back to our Computer Basic course. Section 2, Lesson 4. The topic is Inside a Computer. Have you ever looked inside a computer case or seen picture of the inside of one? The small parts may look complicated, but the inside of a computer case isn't really all that mysterious. This lesson will help you master some of the basic terminology and understand a bit more about what goes on inside a computer. Motherboard. The motherboard is a computer's main circuit board. It's a thin plate that holds the CPU, memory, connectors for the hard drive and optical drives, expansion cards to control the video and audio, and connections to your computer's ports, such as USB. The motherboard connects directly or indirectly to every part of the computer. CPU/processor. The Central Processing Unit, CPU, also called a processor, is located inside the computer case on the motherboard. It is sometimes called the brain of the computer, and its job is to carry out commands. Whenever you press a key, click the mouse, or start an application, you are sending instructions to the CPU. The CPU is usually a 2-inch ceramic square with a silicon chip located inside. The chip is usually about the size of a thumbnail. The CPU fits into the motherboard. The CPU fits into the motherboard CPU socket, which is covered by the heatsink, an object that absorbs heat from the CPU. A processor speed is measured in megahertz, or millions of instructions per second, and gigahertz, or billions of instructions per second. A faster processor can execute instructions more quickly. However, the actual speed of the computer depends on the speed of many different components, not just the processor. RAM, Random Access Memory. RAM is your system's short-term memory. Whenever your computer performs calculations, it temporarily stores the data in the RAM until it is needed. This short-term memory disappears when the computer is turned off. If you are working on a document, spreadsheet, or other type of file, you will need to save it to avoid losing it. When you save a file, the data is written to the hard drive, which acts as long-term storage. RAM is measured in megabytes or gigabytes. The more RAM you have, the more things your computer can do at the same time. If you don't have enough RAM, you may notice that your computer is sluggish when you have several programs running. Because of this, many people add extra RAM to their computers to improve performance. Hard drive. The hard drive is where your software, documents, and other files are stored. The hard drive is long-term storage, which means the data is still saved even if you turn the computer off or unplug it. When you run a program or open a file, the computer copies some of the data from the hard drive onto the RAM. When you save a file, the data is copied back to the hard drive. The faster the hard drive, the faster your computer can start up and load programs. Power supply unit. The power supply unit in a computer converts the power from the wall socket to the type of power needed by the computer. It sends power through cables to the motherboard and other components. Here's something to note. If you decide to open the computer case and take a look, make sure to unplug the computer first before touching the inside of the computer. Also, you should touch a grounded metal object or a metal part of the computer casing to discharge any static buildup when you switched off the power supply. Static electricity. The reason is because static electricity can be transmitted through the computer circuits, which can seriously damage your machine. Expansion cards. Most computers have expansion slots on the motherboard that allow you to add various types of expansion cards. These are sometimes called PCI, Peripheral Component Interconnect cards. You may never need to add any PCI cards because most motherboards have built-in video, sound, network, and other capabilities. However, if you want to boost the performance of your computer or update the capabilities of an older computer, you can always add one or more cards.
Everything we do on computers and smartphones has some sort of code behind it, telling it what to do. But have you ever thought about how this code gets written? There are thousands of languages in the world around us, and in the digital world, things aren't so different. There are also tons of different programming languages making up the code that powers much of our technology. A programming language is made up of specific terms and directions that are used to create some type of output, such as websites, apps, and other software. Languages like JavaScript, Python, and Java are often used by websites for a variety of purposes. C++ is used just about everywhere to make things like desktop apps, games, and more. There's also HTML and CSS. While these aren't technically programming languages, they're used to create the structure and appearance of almost every website. These are just a few of the most popular languages, but there are also many, many more. The reason for this is that all of these languages are unique and operate differently from one another. To further explain this, let's take a look at vehicles. There are all different types of vehicles in the world, and most of them can get you from point A to point B. Which one you choose, however, depends on several factors. Some of them might be faster than others, and certain vehicles might take more skill or training to operate. In some instances, one vehicle might work better than another, like if you needed to move some bulky objects. But in a lot of cases, most modes of transportation can get the job done, and it just comes down to what you personally prefer. All of these qualities about vehicles also apply to programming languages. For example, a web developer might choose to use JavaScript because it works well with HTML, while a video game designer might choose C++ because it can handle more complex graphics. Without programming languages, most of the technology we use on a daily basis would be useless. When it comes down to it, they're simply the backbone of all of our software. Thank you for listening.
Section 2, Lesson 5. Laptop computers. What is a laptop computer? A laptop is a personal computer that can be easily moved and used in a variety of locations. Some laptops are designed to have all of the functionalities of a desktop computer, which means they can generally run the same software and open the same types of files. However, laptops also tend to be more expensive than comparable desktop computers. How is laptop different from a desktop? Because laptops are designed for portability, there are some important differences between them and desktop computers. A laptop has an all-in-one design with a built-in monitor, keyboard, touchpad which replaces the mouse, and speakers. This means it is fully functional even when no peripherals are connected. A laptop is also quicker to set up, and there are fewer cables to get in the way. You will also have the option to connect a regular mouse, larger monitor, and other peripherals. This basically turns your laptop into a desktop computer with one main difference. You can easily disconnect the peripherals and take the laptop with you wherever you go. Here are the main differences you can expect with a laptop. 1. Touchpad. A touchpad, also called a trackpad, is a touch-sensitive pad that lets you control the pointer by making a drawing motion with your finger. 2. Battery. Every laptop has a battery which allows you to use the laptop when it is not plugged in. Whenever you plug in the laptop, the battery recharges. Another benefit of having a battery is that it can provide backup power to the laptop if the power goes out. 3. AC adapter. A laptop usually has a specialized power cable called an AC adapter, which is designed to be used with that specific type of laptop. 4. Ports. Most laptops have the same types of ports found on desktop computers, such as USB, although they usually have fewer ports to save space. However, some ports may be different and you may need an adapter in order to use them. 5. Price. Generally speaking, laptops tend to be more expensive than a desktop computer with the same internal components. While you may find that some basic computers cost less than desktop computers, these are usually much less powerful machines.
My name is John Ojiko. I am in grade 5. I am 9 years old. I am one of the students who successfully completed the coding bootcamp by Project 500. In the bootcamp I am taught, I even made a simple app which I call Guess the Secret Number Game. I developed this app for the purpose of entertainment and to release tension for everyday living. I did this app on Scratch and Python, and I hope to have fun with my friends when I get back to school. Thank you.
Hurry now and book your seats in our 2024 Coding and Animation Bootcamp coming up at Fairview Estate in NL Road. This year, it is in 2 sections. We have a junior ranging from 5 years to about 10 years, and they have enough materials to engage them. It promises to be very, very entertaining, interactive, and exciting. For the senior, it's the same thing. From ages 11 and above to adulthood, you are all involved in this coding and animation bootcamp this year. So make your booking now, because each class will take a maximum of 20 persons, and once it is booked, registration closes. So I'm expecting you, do your bookings now, and we'll see you there. Bye for now.
Section 2, Lesson 6, Mobile Devices. What is a mobile device? A mobile device is a general term for any type of handheld computer. These devices are designed to be extremely portable, and they can often fit in your hand. Some mobile devices like tablets, e-reader, and smartphones are powerful enough to do many of the same things that you can do with a desktop or laptop computer. Tablet computers. Like laptops, tablet computers are designed to be portable. However, they provide a different computing experience. The most obvious difference is that tablet computers don't have keyboards or touchpads. Instead, the entire screen is touch sensitive, allowing you to type on a virtual keyboard and use your finger as a mouse pointer. Tablet computers can't necessarily do everything traditional computers can do. For many people, a traditional computer, like a desktop or laptop, is still needed in order to use some programs. However, the convenience of a tablet computer means it may be ideal as a second computer. E-readers. E-book readers, also called e-readers, are similar to tablet computers, except they are mainly designed for reading e-books, that is, digital downloadable books. Notable examples include the Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, and Kobo. Most e-readers use an e-ink display, which is easier to read than a traditional computer display. You can even read in bright sunlight, just like if you were reading a regular book. Note, you don't need an e-reader to read e-books. They can also be read on tablets, smartphones, laptops, and desktops. Smartphones. A smartphone is a more powerful version of a traditional cell phone. In addition to the same basic features, phone calls, voicemails, text messaging, smartphone can connect to the internet over Wi-Fi or a cellular network, which requires purchasing a monthly data plan. This means you can use a smartphone for the same things you would normally do on a computer, such as checking your email, browsing the web, or shopping online. Most smartphones use a touch-sensitive screen, meaning there isn't a physical keyboard on the device. Instead, you will type on a virtual keyboard and use your fingers to interact with the display. Other standard features include a high-quality digital camera and the ability to play digital music and video files. For many people, a smartphone can actually replace electronics like an old laptop, digital music player, and digital camera in the same device.